We're on the air.
If you're playing with someone and you've been playing with them for a while and you don't know them in the real world, do you then know them anyways? Because you just know them from playing online?
No.
Like, what is a stranger anymore?
No, you don't know them.
This is BS Game Reviews. But you've been playing, let's say you've played a full 10 hours with this guy. If you talk to someone for 10 hours on the street, you know this person.
That person could be catfishing you. You could think you're playing with a British person who's like, hello, Ethan, every single day. And you're like, this is my British pal, and he lives in London. And then it's like a Southern kid who's just laughing his ass off every time he signs off.
But like everyone's catfishing each other. I don't own a nice sports car. Am I catfishing because I'm not actually the person in a sports car?
No, of course not. But do you tell that guy, like, on your offhand conversation time, like, oh, yeah, I actually own this sports car?
Maybe I do. I'm going to show you 2 video game trailers, give you a little bit of information on the games.
Okay.
And then you have to do your best review based on that information. Oh. And there's our cat, our new cat. Our first game is Forza Horizon 4.
Forza.
If I give you just that title, do you know what that game is? What it's about?
It sounds like an Italian action movie. It's the
movie,
4th one that has come out.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, this is the 11th Forza game.
No way.
It's the 4th Forza Horizon game, but the 11th Forza game.
Okay, so I wasn't totally wrong.
It's a pretty well-known series, I'd say.
Okay. Oh my God, it's like an Italian road rage. Cool. Oh my God, the music. Jeez. I'm exhausted. Mm-hmm. Oh, you can have a little baby. I wonder if there are any tricks that little baby can pull. Okay, there's a big Hummer. I get it. They keep going to the Hummer. That's a Hummer, right? No, not that one. This looks like fun. I could see myself in a car in the Italian countryside. Aww. Were those goats or sheep? Those were sheep.
Open world.
Really cool.
So that means you'll just see real people driving around. What'd you gather from that trailer? Other than the people, open world, all that stuff, seasons changing.
You took it.
Welcome to our review stream, Caroline.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, I'm very concerned about my well-being with your jacket on here. Are you giving me a checkup? What's happening here?
No, so actually, this is a funny thing. Most people don't know this. It's very rarely discussed, but if you're familiar with priests, they wear these little thingies when they do mass. They just like put them on when they do mass. It's like a big ribbon that they put on around their neck.
I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure you do.
I think traditionally it's called a big ribbon.
Big ribbon.
Large oversized ribbon that goes around their neck like this, little tassels. So video game reviewers basically do the same thing.
How many hours have you put into this game?
Probably about 247.
Wow, that's a lot of hours in a driving game. Do you like driving games? Let me just ask you, are you a big driving game fan?
I love driving games. I'm very scared of driving in what people call real life, but I'm very not scared of driving in video games.
Now, would you say most of this game is pretty real to life? It's a good simulation, or did they go out of their way to give some artistic liberties to some of the cars and the way driving works?
The turn radius of all of the steering wheels, I tried out every single car, of course. The turn radius was beautiful, perfectly done, very well executed.
Did they change between cars in a genuine way?
Yeah, just a little bit, which I was very impressed by. The bigger, heavier cars, it was just ever so slightly slower when you turned.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And I like that. It added a real life quality to the game. I would have liked to have seen more outside of the vehicle action. So I want to see a farmer raking his field, and maybe when you drive your car through it, he's like, no. You know what I mean? Because you have to think about the destruction that you're causing the environment in these games. No one ever talks about it, but these cars should be getting pulled over realistically. Usually these car games are just you're in a racing rink and it's nighttime or whatever, or it's just eternally daytime. But having those seasons change was really great because just while you're zipping through life, it's nice to have a steady temporal reminder of where you are season-wise. There's a game called Toys R Us Bus where you drive the kitty bus to Toys R Us.
Toys R Us Bus?
Yeah, Toys R Us Bus.
Okay,
it's a very popular children's game. I'm surprised you don't know about it. Toys R Us Bus is a great game if you like a lot of colors, if you like things that spin in circles and you can kind of see them, and it's very distracting and fun. If you want to learn numbers, that kind of thing.
Toys R Us Bus. So not very similar to Forza Horizon 4.
Oh no, very similar in that you're either a kiddie on a bus getting driven to Toys R Us, or you are the bus driver of the Toys R Us bus.
And in both games, you're learning along the way, right?
I think so, yeah. It's a driving game, and I did drive. So I'd like to give it, out of 100?
Out of 100.
A 90.
Well,
Yes.
Caroline, I will tell you now what other reviewers had to say about this game.
On Wikipedia.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You are a free soul. These reviews don't matter at all to you because you have your own mega review company, and your review is usually known as the word of God.
Well, and it's all, but you know what? It's always fun to see what the little guys have to say, and I have no ego by any means.
IGN 9.6 out of 10.
Too high.
And GameSpot 9 out of 10. You got this pretty dead on with your review.
You start to realize when your reviews are being plagiarized pretty quick.
Our next game, I don't think you've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
You might have, though.
Ooh.
It's called
Really?
Overcooked 2.
Oh, no.
Have you ever heard of an Overcooked
No,
game?
that sounds adorable.
Yeah. Overcooked 2. It's a family game. It's like a party game.
Oh, like Toys R Us bus. They're so cute. Are they little Smurfs?
I think they're just little people.
They're
It's just
little
how they
gnomes?
look. Yeah.
Oh my God, they're so cute. Crazy kitchens. I love how it said crazy kitchens. Oh my God. I'd like to go to the haunted. Oh, look at the little tombstone sad. I guess they are sad because death. Who's that guy? Overcooked 2.
Overcooked 2. What did you gather from that? There's a lot going on there. as
Very,
always.
very cute. Very disappointed in the aerialness because I like being on the level of my games. I think we're past the aerial point of view thing, or at least I feel like I am. Also, it's harder. Games are harder.
Games are harder now? You're
Games
saying?
are harder now. Well, and
Yeah.
games are it's hard to look down and feel like your hands are, I don't know.
Yeah, you have to get adjusted to the movement a little bit.
Yeah, and I just feel like it takes away from the world of the game when you see it from an aerial viewpoint. But people might feel the exact opposite.
What were your main impressions of the game so far?
So far, so far for me is very far because I spent about 300 hours playing it. Fun game, cute game, very colorful, very bright. I love the urgency of it. I felt very frazzled and harried throughout the process of playing it. Great game for both hands, good finger movement. I really felt as though there was a timer and there was a kitchen fire to put out. And I'm a great cook myself, so it was very fun to just see the process as it goes on a video game.
Yeah. You felt like this was true to life to your own cooking that you do? Or?
Oh, no.
Oh,
But I felt like for some people it would be true to life.
I got you.
And I thought that was really fun. This is a game if you want to be cheered up because it was just frivolous. It's a frivolous game and it's silly. And it's a good game if you're feeling low and you don't really want to think too much. And if you're going through a hard time and you don't really want to play a heavy, death-filled game.
This is the game to pick up.
I think so.
How was the co-op for this? Was it a good, teamwork-based game, or was it just pure chaos?
For me, I felt like they could advance the co-op system a little more. There are sometimes people in the room who I don't want to join me, and they just hop right on. And I think, get out of here. I don't really want to play with you, but I'm not going to say that to your face. I just don't want to play with you. And I wish that the game could sense that, and I wish that the game could block those people from my playing experience.
So you want the game to be like, clearly, Caroline does not like this person. Let's
Sure.
boot you or boot the person?
Boot the person off.
Okay,
Because,
okay.
or wouldn't you, I'm not saying that the game has to be clairvoyant or anything, but if there was just a private little button on the controller that said, boot this person off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A little red X. It's like, so-and-so wants to join your game. No.
Yeah, and you could ban them and then mute them, and you'll never hear from them again.
If they're in the same room, if they're local, as we call it, to you, then they might ask you to your face. But in that case, I would just say, I didn't press that button. Someone else in the room must have pressed the button.
Caroline, out of 100, what do you give Overcooked 2?
I'm going to go with a solid 80%.
80%. Well, we'll compare that to our actual reviews here from other smaller reviewers. Like you're
lesser
the king.
known.
Yep. Metacritic, which is a pretty big review site, gave it an 80 out of 100. And IGN gave it an 86 out of 100. So once again, you are right on the money with this review. What is going on? Are you cheating?
I'm not cheating. I swear I'm not cheating.
Ahead and looking at all the games
No.
in my brain. This is
because
crazy.
it was a fun romp, but archaic.
I feel like any sequel to any game, you could be like, it's archaic, and it's like dead on. Well done day and a well done job. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Any last words about these last two games?
If you guys could write in to the big video game companies like IGM and EA, that would be very helpful because they need to know when their games are falling behind the times.
Should they mention you? Should they be Caroline?
You could probably get a discount on any game if you mention my name.
Wow, that's some sway right there.
Yeah, that's just normal.
This is BS Game Reviews.